So I think this is the year the Kings are finally gonna do it. No, obviously I don't mean win a championship, but I do mean make the playoffs. And I'm not talking about the play-in, okay? Maybe there's a chance that they make the play-in and that's it, but I do actually think there's a good chance that they can make it to the playoffs. You know what I mean? I think this team is pretty well built. I think De'Aaron Fox is gonna have an amazing season. Losing Tyrese, it obviously sucks, but I genuinely think the Kings have a very good chance of making the playoffs this year. Now, obviously there are more pieces than that. If you watch some of the summer league, then you would see that Keegan Murray had a very good showing there. He was very impressive, one of the best looking rookies that had gotten drafted this year. Just looks fantastic. They just picked up Kevin Huerter in the offseason. They traded for damontas sabonis last season, obviously in the detrimental Tyrese Haliburton trade. I promise you that is going to go down as one of the worst trades in Kings history, 100%. Now listen, I may think that the Kings are going to make it to the playoffs, but I'm not absolutely delusional. All right, I think if they're getting to the playoffs, then they're not getting past the first round. There's no shot. There's teams that are way better than them in that conference, even though I think the Western Conference is significantly weaker than the East, and I think that is pretty objective. The Kings just don't have a chance to get past 90% of the teams in that conference. Now I am going to backtrack a little bit because I do think the most likely situation the Kings get into the playoffs is through the play-in. I think they're probably going to land around the 7th or 8th seed, maybe the 9th seed, but I kind of doubt it. I think they're a bit better than some of the other players, or some of the other teams, excuse me, in that conference, but I think they're probably gonna get in through the play-in, and then they're gonna play their way up into the playoffs, and they're gonna eventually end up there. But I don't think their ceiling is the play-in. Realistically, I think the Kings ceiling is the first round, but there is a slight possibility, depending who they go up against, depending on injuries, depending on some players just having like an absolutely insane series, that they somehow do move up to the second round. And I'm gonna be honest with you, if you think everything that I'm saying sounds insane and improbable and not possible, then I don't really think you've been paying attention to the Kings recently. And if you have and you still think that, that's questionable to me, because truthfully the Kings look fantastic and I'm really excited to watch them, and I think they can really make something happen. I really do. Now I will never ever in a million years tell you that Tyrese Haliburton trade was justified or is a good trade. I don't care. That is a terrible trade, terrible decision by the front office, but that doesn't mean that they can't make anything happen. And that's mainly because they just picked up Kevin Huerter in the offseason, and that is going to be a huge pickup for the Kings, considering they're finally getting a shooter around De'Aaron Fox, who is not a great three-point shooter or even mid-range shooter from what I've seen. Kevin Huerter shot almost 40% from 3 last season for the Hawks, and if the Kings can get something like that, they're gonna look really good, and he's going to be a big part of their playoff run. And luckily, I don't think Keegan Murray's expectations are set very high. I think he showed off and even blew the expectations out of the water in the summer league, and so maybe that raised the expectations a little bit for how he'll perform when he actually gets to the league, because summer league is summer league. The NBA season is a completely different thing, and we all know this. But I think Keegan Murray's gonna go out there. He's gonna be a great contributor for them. I think he's gonna be a great rookie. He's not gonna replace Tyrese Haliburton. I do think Tyrese Haliburton is gonna end up being better than Keegan Murray. I'm never getting over it. That was such a dumb trade. Why did they do that? But yeah, that's it for me. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe. I promise you won't be disappointed with the content you see here. And if you want to see how fun I think the Kings will be this season, then you should watch this video right here where I rank them among the rest of the teams in the league.